Time is a construct we put on ourselves. What do I mean by that? Well, each and every one of us has 168 hours in our working week. And for those of you that work at a job, you possibly work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And, all the time outside of that, so the 40 hours a week, you've got now 128 hours. What do you do in that 128 hours? Well, we as a society sleep so many hours a day, right? And that takes up so many of the 128 hours that you have left. But then you still have quite a few hours from, let's say, 5 o'clock till, let's say, you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. That gives you 5 hours, right? 7 days a week. That's 35 hours that you can utilize to do whatever you want, to accomplish whatever goal you want, to maybe achieve a dream that you've had of owning your own business, or maybe achieving a dream of, getting a closet cleaned out you've been neglecting for the last 3 years. I've been there. We use time as an excuse not to do things and say we don't have the time, when in reality we all have the same amount of free time. And yes, some of you may have kids that takes up some of that 5 hours, and you might only have maybe an hour in the evening where you can be to yourself, right? Maybe you're, so time strapped that that's all you can squeeze out. But how do you figure out if you have that 1 hour of time? Well, sit down and figure out the fact of writing it down. I work from this time to this time. If you have family, well, we cook supper. I got to help kids with schoolwork. I've got to bath kids. I've got to do whatever. The kids are in bed by this time. Let's say they're in bed by 9 o'clock and you go to bed at 10, and when you write it down, you see the fact you only have one free hour. Does that mean you have to use that one free hour 7 days a week to better yourself? Well, for those that are really wanting to achieve and change their lives and pivot, maybe you should use every of that hour for 7 days a week to move forward. For those of you that, want to take baby steps, maybe use 2 to 3 hours of that 7 hours in that week that you have free in order for you to pivot and move your life forward. Quit using time as an excuse and use time as a reason. Life is short. Life's in session. There's the things that I want to accomplish. So I better figure it out in my 168-hour week. What am I going to do to actually achieve what I desire, what I dream about, my goals? It takes baby steps. And the first baby step is to stop using time as an excuse that you don't have time to accomplish anything, and take your time and your reasons of what you want to accomplish and figure it out, what you want in your life, and work hard at it. Figure out, well, okay, I know that this is how many hours I have, just like I was telling you, and utilize that time to better your life and move your life forward. Maybe it means that you can't watch some Netflix for that 1 hour that you have, and you decide to take that hour and do other things with it, right? And there's nothing wrong with watching Netflix. All I'm saying is if you're using the 1 hour that you have free every single night to watch Netflix 7 days a week, and you're not moving your life forward, and you have dreams and you have things that you aspire to accomplish, no matter what it is, from cleaning the closet out to maybe finding out a side hustle to creating your own business, whatever the case may be, you need to utilize some of the free time you have, because we all have free time if we actually sit down and we concentrate on our schedule. We all have some time where we can better our lives, whether it's a baby step here, a baby step there. Maybe it's 3 hours a week that you etch out, and then you feel better about yourself because you're achieving some things that you desire to do. Again, whether it's just simply cleaning a closet or owning a business as a side hustle, or just whatever the case may be, you do those little baby steps. The next week, all of a sudden, you're going to be charged because you're going to see yourself moving forward. Then you can decide, well, maybe I can etch out another hour. And that 3 goes to 4, goes to 5, goes to 6. Oh, maybe you can figure out things a little bit different and free up even more time from your 5 to 10 o'clock during the day when you're not in your job. And for those of you that don't have kids or family, right? Because there is people that aren't in that circumstance yet, right? And that's not a bad circumstance to be in. But for those of you that don't have the family, you have more time. So then you should be looking at the fact from my 5 to 10, when I go to bed at 10, maybe you're a person who stays up late like me and you have even more time. What am I utilizing that time for? So just food for thought. Why do I talk to you about all this stuff? Why? Well, because there's things like this that I didn't think of before, that I allowed the excuses of I don't have the time to hold me back, to stay on that hamster wheel and be stuck at that 9 to 5 job. And I know many of us, not all of you, but many of us want more out of our lives. And the only thing holding us back is using time as an excuse. So I don't have the time. We don't have the time. When in reality, if you sit down and figure out what time you're spending on everything that you do, it's not as hard as you think to squeak out a few hours a week where you can better your lives and push yourselves and pivot forward. I look forward to talking tomorrow. God bless you all. Peace out and stay out of trouble.